Hello friends, so today is Saturday, September the 24th, and we are driving down my driveway, which is a little long, but we are going to go to the Blackberry Hills Alpaca Fall Open House. Now this is an alpaca farm that is about 8 minutes from my house, 9 depending on red lights. And every year she has an open house where she allows other vendors to come and sell things, and herself actually has a small store on the farm where she sells the fleeces from her alpacas, which she actually shows, as well as other alpaca related items such as yarns, etc. She sells a lot of the alpaca pets, maybe something kind of yarn. I don't know, I can't think of the name, but that is where we're headed, and I am not going to videotape as I drive down the road just because I don't feel that is safe. I am going to have it recording some footage attached to the passenger side seat just so you can see how beautiful the area is that I live in. So I hope you'll continue to watch and enjoy the show. If you do not know, my name is Kim, also known as Yarning for a Smile. And thank you so much for checking out this video. Let's go on an adventure, shall we?
Right now, most of them are laying down doing what we call cushing. This is the heat of the day, and during the summer, most of the time they have these great big huge fans out because it's so hot, and they'll come in here and switch and lay down. Now, Hershey here decided to stand up if he wants to know what's going on. But the rest of them are just laying down. These are their inside communal toilets, which is really cool. Where one alpaca goes, the rest of them will follow suit. You actually can see them in the pasture lining up for one spot in the pasture. It's kind of like being at a concert and everybody's standing in line for the porta potties. And one goes to the bathroom and then they move out. Another one steps up and they're all in line, behaving themselves, nice and quiet. And then when that one's finished, they move out. Another one comes back in that line and that form a whole line. They will lay down a lot of times for some reason or another with their head facing down the hill. We don't know why, but for the most part, they push like this unless they're outside on the hillside. They have toes on all 4 feet. They're actually toes with fingernails. And I think their toenails are actually softer than my dog's, to tell you the truth, for size and stuff. They use regular pruning shears, 2-sided pruning shears to trim them. They check for teeth, and when we shear them once a year, and that's usually in April. Their top lip is split. They are third down in the camelid family, which camels, or llamas, then alpacas. To stay still, they won't bite, they won't spit, as long as you're still and quiet. They're really passive, easygoing animals. Their natural, main natural predator are coyotes, foxes, wolves, that sort of thing. So they're naturally afraid of any dog. And they'll go on a high alert when a dog goes by that they see, and they have a real high-pierced whistle. He's one of the oldest.
Yes.
Patriot may be older than Sunny, I'm not sure.
And that's chocolate?
This is Cocoa, that's
Cocoa.
chocolate marshmallow. Sunny, look at me one time.
Yeah, I think Sunny's one of the ones she's had for forever.
Yes, he's really getting up there.
Hello friends, so this is future me. It's actually now Friday, September the 30th, and I am just now getting to a point where I can sit down and record the little extra information that I want to add in this video, as well as record some of the things that I purchased. I hope you all are well. I hope you all have enjoyed the little tour of the alpaca farm and the booths. After this video, there are some clips that I'm adding on from, I think it was like August of 2019, when I was leaving the last part after seeing the alpacas. I thought I had more footage of them out in the field, because they actually kind of came out as we were going out, but I guess I'd never hit the record button, so I was just standing there with the camera pointing at them for no reason. So I actually dug through years of videos and footage and found some really great shots that I took in August of 2019. And it really shows how pretty the farm is in the afternoon when the sun's hitting it in Alabama. So look for those after this. Enjoying some coffee right now. It's actually a cool day here in Alabama. It is 59 degrees. And check out this cool mug my friend Deborah got me. It is a Ray Dunn, and if you remember I love redone. There's actually a huge hoarding obsession we'll go collection of redone mugs over there that I actually display on my wall because I just love the mugs and I love coffee. But this is the one that she got me. It says Harvest Blessings, and it's like a unicorn mug because it's all shiny and unicorny. So it makes coffee just even that much better, which is pretty amazing because it's pretty good the way it is. So as far as what I'm wearing right now, because it is kind of cool, and I'm going to be going outside in a little bit to help chop down some baby pine trees that are growing by our house. But this is the Midas hat, and this is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it is entails a provisional cast on, and you knit for a little bit. You do like a little special stitch, well, it's not really a special stitch, but I just don't want to give away the pattern. And then you connect them, and then you knit some more, and then you do your decreases. It's a great pattern. This is probably one of my most worn hats, actually, that I've knit. It's what my husband calls as a poopy hat, but it's just a slouchy hat. But there's the side view. And the yarn I use is Undead Yarns in the Wood Nymph colorway. And Heidi dyed this. And this is, like I said, it's one of my favorite colorways of yarn, and it just worked so perfectly with this hat. And I just honestly love this hat. But I will be linking that in the show notes. I'm also going to be linking the Alpaca farm, the candle booth that I visited, and the other crocheter that I visited, as well as the lady who owns the goats, the sheep, the llama, the pony, bearded dragon, ball python, and some horses, because she does a lot of stuff in our community as far as taking in animals that need homes or abused, and she really cares about the animals that she cares for. So the first booth that I visited was Yeevy's booth. Now Yeevy actually was the yarn shop owner of the yarn shop that was down the road from me. I think it was like 10 minutes away. I mean, it was super close. It's where I met Deborah, the person who gave me this glorious mug, and I loved that yarn store. Like, it was amazing. There's actually a video on this channel of that yarn store. It's a little walkthrough because I put it up on her 4-year of closing anniversary, and it was super sad, but I just want to remember it because there was so many memories made there and so many friends made there. And it's sad because over the years we've either had some of the members that come and knit with us move away, and we've even had one pass away. And I just want those times to be, cherished and remembered always. And this is a great way for me to honor that. So I will put a link to that video down below, and I'll try to add it right here, but I'm not sure if I am skilled enough in the YouTube video creating process to do that. We shall try. So I stopped by her booth, and I picked up, obviously, some candles. So her store used to not only sell yarn, you'll see in the video, but she also sold candles that she personally made, soaps. She also sold jewelry that people made. I actually used to sell stitch markers there and project bags. She allowed people to sell things that they sewed there. I mean, it was just like this collection of local artisans, and it was just such a great thing to have in the community. I really miss her store. We have something similar like it that opened up recently, but it's just, they're not also a yarn store, so they don't have the yarn that she sold. They're mostly just like a celebration of local artisans. But her yarn selection was pretty amazing. She was really good about keeping fresh yarns coming into the store, and yarns that fit everyone's budget and everyone's wants. So she had some acrylic yarn, then she had some cotton yarn, then she had a variety of weights. She even had some hand dyes. She carried Malabrigo. She carried a little Malintosh. She even got a couple of indie dyers in there. It was just a really, really great store to go in and experience. Yeah, so I got some for melt. This is the toasted pumpkin spice, and I'm not sure why in today's world we have not developed an ability to hold this up to the screen and you'd be able to go up to your screen and scratch it and smell it like something like Willy Wonka. I mean, why not? If we can have cars that drive themselves and that are Uber cars, like, yes, that's a thing in the USA, and I think it was Arizona. They have Uber cars that are driven by computers, and people just get in them and there's no driver. You can Google it, it's a thing. But if we can do that, why can't I hold this up to the screen and you scratch and smell it? Like, it should be programmed that it can like smell the screen and share it to you. Because you would enjoy this, and it smells delicious. But I don't even know how to describe it. It's, trust me, it's so good. And then I also got one of her candles, which this one is cranberry apple. And this is the one that she told me I needed to buy, so I bought it. Because she knew I would like it. So it's almost like an apple cider with some vanilla cookies making in the background, if that's an explanation. I don't know. It's really good. So I love her stuff. And before she closed, I actually bought a bunch of her things, and I'm still kind of going through my stock a little bit, even though it's been 4 years. But she had them marked down so cheap, and I couldn't say no. And they're like soy based, so they don't leave residue in your house, and they're not chemicals, and it's like all natural organic stuff. And I'm actually burning one of her candles right now over there to the side on my buffet table. And it is the Balms and Fir. And the reason, I know it's kind of like a wintry scent, but the reason I'm burning it is because it was so cold this morning and I have the window open, which I know it's making me colder in here, obviously, but it's allowing me to smell that fall crisp morning air along with that candle that's kind of accentuating that whole smell. And it's just like fall is throwing up all in my kitchen, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So that was the first place. And if you look at her booth, you might have seen some baskets on the right side of her table. Those baskets were actually made by Brenda, and Miss Brenda is a local as well. She used to come to the knitting thing, we had it. But she has gotten into this basket making thing, and she teaches classes at our local library. And she's also the one that can be seen spinning in the blue shirt, like after that booth. And she has more baskets on the booth between her and Evie's. But she does amazing basket work. She also is a sewer, and she just does all kind of crafts. We have a bunch of crafty people here, which is pretty cool. So after that, I walked around, and I wish I had actually got more video of this guy, but you would see me and you saw this big sign that said like Calhoun County's best cookies or something. And there was a gentleman there, and he was actually cross stitching. And the amazing part about his cross stitching was, number one, it's a guy, and you don't see that very often in public at all, and it's a shame, like if there's a stigma about it. But he was also missing an arm, and he had a prosthetic on there, and he was holding it with this metal clamp and cross stitching. But he was not cross stitching on regular Adia, I think that's what it's called. I'm a cross stitcher, I should know this. He actually was cross stitching on just like a piece of t-shirt material. And he had designed this thing for a commission, and it was like an eagle. And it was just amazing work. And he was doing it with black floss, and there was no holes. He was looking at it. It was just gorgeous. And I kind of asked him about it, and he said he just kind of was given a kit, I think, by his sister or something, and he was like, "I'll try it," and he fell in love with it and realized that he was really good at it. And it was just a great conversation to have with another crafter, and I really wish I recorded that for you guys. And if I ever see him again at another festival, I will definitely get some footage of him and his work because it's, things like that are inspiring to me, and I'm sure they're inspiring to you as well. But after his booth, I kind of walked down a little bit, and my stomach's growling. And I did see the one crochet little bag that was hanging on a booth. That booth was kind of busy. I didn't really talk to those people. But I kept going straight down, and there was another booth on the end, and this lady's a crocheter, and I've seen her booth before. So I definitely wanted to talk to her. So in that booth, her mother is the one that makes the wreaths and stuff. The younger lady is the one who does all the crochet. This is their card. And like I said, I'm going to link this below. Thunder Bear Creations. Miss Nancy and her mom were super nice. And I know that I can make the things that she was selling in her booth. I think as creators, often we go to things like this and we're like, oh, I can make that. I'm not going to buy that. I try to be a little bit different and having a different approach to it. I go to booths like this and I'm like, oh, that's another person who is sharing in my passion and my love and something that brings me joy. I need to support that. So even though I can make, I know all the crocheted stuffies that she had, I felt like I should support her in buying at least something. And so I did. And I got this little axolotl. So this is the axolotl that I purchased from that crafter's booth. Now, Nancy had all kind of different little stuffed animals that she had made. I think I showed the table a couple times. Her stuff was so cheap. Like I kind of felt like she was selling herself short because they were very, very cute and they were catching people's attention. People were coming in and looking at the items. She had this little round thing that had the ghost on it, like the little ghost with a cute little hat. I'm sure you've seen it or saw. I'm sure you saw it. So it was only $5. This little guy was only $8. I would have happily paid $10 for this. Give her a couple extra dollars. And yes, I could easily make these. And I actually found a pattern that's almost identical to this on Ravelry for $3.50. And I have yarn, so I only have to pay $3.50 to make it. But it's not about the money to me. To me, it's about sharing a passion and a love with another crafter. Because we don't know what that crafter in front of us is dealing with. I am someone who I keep all my stress and my emotions kind of bottled up. And I don't really outwardly show them. And trust me, I'm going through some stressful stuff right now. But it's not something I like to show. And that's okay. Because I have that release through crafts. I have that release through this channel. Through this channel and through my own creativity, I'm able to deal with those stressors and I'm able to deal with those emotions. And it could be that that's how this person in front of you is dealing with their emotions and their stress. And that one purchase that you make at a fair or a festival like this for $5 from another crafter could be that one purchase that lets that crafter have a feeling of pride and self-accomplishment and encourages them to continue doing what they obviously enjoy doing. Why not be a part of that? Why not be a part of helping bring joy to someone else and sharing in this great love of crafts that we so dearly cherish of our own? So that is why I firmly believe if you have the means and you see something, even something small that you can get and to celebrate another crafter, then I encourage you to do so because we had a great conversation about crafts. You know, she did not know that I had a community event, and I did not know that about some stuff that she was telling me about to kind of help us, one of my little stressors. And she wound up being a resource for me, and I'm going to wind up being a resource for her. So we were able to network and to have this moment in time that benefited both of us over a cute little adorable axolotl. So I'm happy I got it. So I'm actually going to name this Nancy. This is now Nancy. And Nancy's going to live somewhere in my yarn cabinet and help watch over the yarn. So after that booth, I walked around, and there was the table that had all the fried pies and things, and I kind of like zoom in on all these rainbow things that this one person had. She had stickers and she had a bunch of charms, and so I picked up one of her car charms, and these are meant to kind of hang from your rearview mirror. And her shop is called Funky Chicks, and again, I will link all this stuff below if I can find an Etsy shop for her or anything. I just really love this. Number one, I love the boho look. I don't know if that's noticeable at all, but I do. And I love the color yellow, and I love all things fall, and this kind of, I think will work for, this I think will work for fall and for summer because of the yellows, but it always gives that boho vibe, and it was just adorable. And this was priced at $10, which I didn't think that was bad because this is something that's going to be constantly hanging in my car. But I'm super glad I picked this up. I love the little bead accent. It kind of really adds on to that boho look. So next to her booth, or joined with her booth, is someone who made these baked goods. I like show a lot of that too. And I actually got 4 of the apple pies. And I don't know if you've ever been to the South. I know some of my family members / viewers are fellow Alabamians. But let me just tell you, Southern people and Alabamians, we know how to fry some pies. We can fry pies like it's nobody's business. So if you're wanting a good pie, you go to some kind of festival or some kind of food show in the South, and you get your fried pie. And it's good. It's always going to be good. So we got some of those, and they did not disappoint at all. They were absolutely delicious. I also got from this lady a rainbow sticker. I showed some stickers she had. I love rainbows. I love rainbows because of my faith. A rainbow is a promise, and it's a visual cue of hope, and it's a visual cue of love, and it's a visual cue of redemption, really. And they're meant to bring joy. And dealing with the stresses I'm dealing with right now, I needed some joy. So that's why I'm hanging this in my car. And I'm actually gonna try to start collecting more little rainbow stickers. The ones that look like the ones I already have, because I have 2 now, to go across the bottom of my monitor to remind me of those things. It's daily reminders, because I'm always looking at my computer, or I'm either in my car. That's all I really purchased at the festival. From there, I went over and petted the sheep and the llama, and petted the ball python and the bearded dragon and the goats and the pony. There was a lot of animals to love on. And the lady that owns those, like, she does really great things. So again, I'll be putting that link below. Also, after this clip, I did go back, like I said, and add some videos. So I really hope you check those out, because those really show how pretty that little farm is, especially in the afternoon when the sun starts setting and the alpacas are out there. They're just really cool animals. They really are. And if you have any of these kind of shows in your area, I highly encourage you to, go out and check one. Go out and see some of the alpacas and talk to the people who own them, who care for them, or the sheep. I actually found that there's a sheep farm probably about 25 minutes from me. So I may try to make it out there one day and see if they have something like this and do some footage there as well. Yeah, that about sums up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please stick around and watch the footage at the end. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you want some more information about a booth, just let me know and I'll go back in the footage and figure out and try to track that down for you. And tomorrow is the first day of October. I cannot contain the excitement that I have towards that. So happy October, happy weekend, and happy crafting. Bye.